Hi. One of my favorite Bible stories about long ago and far away is of a young woman named Esther. Esther was not a person who thought that she would be a hero in any way. In fact, she was a person who was only noted for her great beauty. But God can use people of any kind to help his purposes. The book of Esther begins that these events happened in the days of King Xerxes, the great Persian emperor. And it says that Xerxes became unhappy with his wife, Queen Vashti, and set her apart, set her aside, got rid of her, and began to look for another queen. And of all the young women that were in the kingdom, he was most attracted to this young woman named Esther, who showed herself to be a person of rare character and beauty. Esther was afraid to approach the king. It was a deadly thing to do so. And her people, the Jews, desperately needed someone to help them because they had an enemy, a man named Haman. Haman was determined to get rid of all the Jews, much like Hitler did in our own generation. And Esther was expected by her uncle to say a good word to the king. But Esther was afraid. She didn't want to say anything to the king. But her uncle insisted, and in one of the most famous passages in the Bible, Mordecai said to Esther, "Don't think for a moment that because you're in the palace you will escape when all other Jews are killed. If you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place, but you and your relatives will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this." And it reminds us that all of us have a part to play in God's plan. All of us have a job to do. All of us have something God wants us to do, whether we realize it or not. And even if we keep turning it down, God keeps giving us new things to do. Esther's story has a happy ending. She did have the courage to speak to the king. The king spared her people, and the Jews still celebrate this day ever since. It's called Purim. It's a holiday that they remember this time when they were spared. We'll try to do more of these stories coming up in the future. I'm Steve Caldwell with LaBelle Church of Christ. If you ever have a chance, visit our YouTube channel where we post our worship and Bible study on Wednesday night and Sunday morning.